Hello once again and welcome back to another episode of Father and Sundays, the unexplainable guide to absolutely nothing. This week, it is episode 100.
Oh, woohoo! 100!
I know, and we are talking about the fact that it's episode 100.
Oh, better stick around.
So, stick around if you want to hear more. Hello there, and congratulations.
Congratulations to you as well, Connor. Well done.
What are we congratulating?
We're congratulating each other because it's our 100th birthday.
It's not a 100th birthday.
Oh, is it not?
It's our... Because you used to say it was our 50th anniversary for the 50th episode.
Yeah.
This is our 100th episode. It's just our...
Well, yeah.
Sorry?
Oh, no. Well, look,
No.
Shall we start with...
Has your voice broken?
I thought I'd try out a new voice for our 100th episode. And my voice has gone a bit funny. It does mean I'm getting a bit of extra work at the moment. Coming soon. And things like that. So I might punctuate this podcast with a few of those.
You sound like the guy that we had do things you didn't know that happened ages ago.
Do you know why that might be?
Because you were ill at that point.
Well, I
time.
wasn't very well when I recorded that. And I'm okay. But I seem to be having a few problems with my throat at the moment.
I think the microphone makes it sound deep because you didn't sound that deep earlier.
Oh, maybe through the headphones and that it sounds deeper, yeah. But stick around if you want to hear more. There you go.
It doesn't make me want to stick around.
No, doesn't it not?
No, because...
Doesn't it not?
No, it does it not.
I sound a bit Barry White at the moment.
What's your name?
My name's Barry White.
Because if you're coming into this episode,
if
you're coming into this podcast on episode 100, maybe it's a good time to reintroduce ourselves.
Reintroduce myself. Okay. My name's David Paul Harding.
Oh, you're going for middle name as well.
I am.
I probably wouldn't have gone that far, but you do you.
I was just saying. My name's David Paul Harding. I'm a 54-year-old male.
Mailman.
Postman. And I am a mailman as well. Yes, my favourite colour is blue. And
do you have any kids?
I have three children. 2 girls and a boy. One of those, the boy, is sitting opposite me now, who is my youngest. I am married. I drive. I have a shed.
Do you have any pets?
What?
Do you have any pets?
I do have 2.
How many sheds do you have?
I have 2 sheds. I have a 2-shed man because I've got lots of money. And
not from this podcast,
not from this podcast, but I just have accumulated money to buy sheds.
That's
I've got
it.
2
you only
cats.
have money for sheds.
Only money for sheds. I've got 2 cats, a black one and a black and white one. And that is all
They've run
about
out of black
me.
ink for the second one.
We did, yes. What about you? Who are you?
My name's Connor Harding.
Hello, Connor.
I've got
any middle names?
Yep, more than you.
Yeah.
And I am 24 years old.
Oh,
I'm 30 years younger than you.
You are indeed.
Almost exactly.
Yes.
Apart from the fact that you got a different birthday to me.
Yes.
I have 2 cats. A black
Do
one
you?
and a black and white one.
So
I've
we've got
also
4
got 2
cats.
sheds.
Have you got 2 sheds as well?
Yeah.
It's a wonder we've got any room for anything else.
Yeah. I drive.
Do you?
Yeah, I've got blue hair and blonde eyes.
Have you?
Yep.
That's very noticeable.
Weird, isn't it?
Yes. Is that why we keep you in one of our sheds?
Yeah, that's why you keep
out
me
the
in one
way.
of the sheds.
Yeah.
One of the many sheds.
Yeah. All right, that's
Many sheds where because when we get money, we think liquid cash is dangerous.
Hey.
So we invest it.
we invest it in sheds. It's the way to go, guys. If you got money, don't put it in a bank. You're going to
buy a house.
Minimal interest. Buy a shed because you will only make your money back and more.
And you can store things in it.
And you can put things in them. So, it's a double bubble.
Smaller sheds.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a bit like when
We've
we
got
went
a tiered
camping
shed
and had a
system.
pop-up tent inside a
We didn't
tent.
actually do that.
We didn't, but we could have done that
talked
if we
about
wanted
it.
to because That's the way we
Oh,
roll.
that's a bit of news. We're looking at getting a new tent, aren't we?
Oh, yeah, exciting news for you all out there, yes. So there might be a camping-free episode.
We try out the new tent.
We'll try out the new tent.
Reviews.
Yeah.
We're going to start a new podcast called Tent Reviews.
All about sheds. It's the sister podcast to Sheds then, is it? So like a wooden outside environment and a canvas.
Is it just your
environment.
podcast? It'd be Father and Shed Days.
Yeah.
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 I'm the son, by the way, in Father and Sundays.
Yeah, and I'm the father, yes. And my voice seems to be getting lower and lower and lower. I do apologise for this. If this makes people want to clear their throat as they're listening to it, it may get better, it may get worse. But anyway, right.
What are you up to at the moment? It's Bank Holiday weekend, isn't it?
What? What am I up to at the moment? Well, it's been a busy one so far. I mean, yesterday...
it was Good Friday.
Yes, I was working on the last bits of the song for today's episode.
What episode is that?
It's the 100th episode.
Wow.
And did a few other bits and pieces.
Episode.
Watched a bit of E.T. Because I wasn't allowed to watch all of it. Because your mum didn't want to. And then today I've been working, unfortunately, but now I'm home and now I start a week's holiday. I'm off next
and how
week.
do you end that holiday?
How do I end that holiday? Well, I end that holiday by driving up to the northern part of the country to a place eventually called Manchester. And do you know what I'll be doing in Manchester a week tomorrow?
I imagine something like laying around.
No.
On the street.
I shall be unbelievably running another 26.2 miles in the Manchester Marathon.
So hopefully not laying around on the street.
No, hopefully not. I'm not all that... what should I say? I'm not over... confident about my ability to do this marathon, but I will get round, whatever. But I haven't had the easiest of training, and even though we went up to London, run a half marathon the other weekend.
I didn't run it.
No, you didn't. You watched. You were there supporting
I didn't get in.
us. So
it's not that I didn't want to. It's because I didn't get in.
No, you didn't get in. No, but
and
so
you keep rubbing it in.
No, I don't keep rubbing it. But it'll be.
You did charity place.
I'm looking forward to it, but it will be a bit of a challenge. But
well, you wouldn't do it if it
more
wasn't
about
a challenge, would you?
No, and I did something for the first time this week. Do you know
tried
what that
Domino's?
is? No. Oh well, I did because we had Domino's pizza. I've never had Domino's, but I started a yoga class.
Oh, you did start a yoga class. I don't think I've really spoken to you much about it because I was on the call on Thursday night. But how did your yoga class go?
It was interesting. Are
you bendy now?
Well, I did find that I wasn't as flexible as I thought I was. It is incredibly strenuous considering that you don't move that much, right? But you're holding positions. So I did the downward dog, and I did the warrior position, and I did another position that she said, and I wasn't absolutely sure what she said, but I think she said pigeon. And I think she said sleeping pigeon. And I don't know, that was
really
specifically an observation of how I looked when I was doing this exercise. Yeah, that was actually quite good. But then at one point at the end, we're laying there and we're sort of, it's in the last bit of the class. And obviously people who go there every week knew we were in this church hall, laying there looking up the ceiling, and suddenly the lights went off. And for some inexplicable reason, I started getting the giggles then, right? Okay. Because while I wasn't expecting it, and then I knew I wasn't really supposed to be laughing, and then it made it even worse. But I enjoyed it. I'm going to go back next week.
Just imagine pitch black and it's just
I'm a pigeon. Yeah, no, but it was good. But it was
a sleeping pigeon.
A sleeping pigeon, yeah. But I certainly, since then, in a couple of days since then, I've felt muscles in my stomach and
You've
sort
got
of,
muscles in your stomach.
yeah, and underneath my arms, which is weird. That I haven't felt ache for a long while.
What, your armpits?
Yeah, underneath my arms, like sort of part of my chest.
Isn't that just like the rest of your body?
Yes, everything underneath my arms.
Everything underneath my head aches.
Yes, it does a bit, but it's great. It's something new, isn't it? Have you tried anything new out recently? Not Domino's, because you've had Domino's before, apparently.
Yeah, I laid on the shed earlier.
Oh, you did? Have you ever laid on a shed before?
I've been on a shed before.
Have you ever laid on a shed
I don't
before?
think so.
Oh, so it's first times for everything this week.
Yeah. Oh, earlier there was we discovered, well, we knew it was already there, but we lifted the manhole cover that's in our back garden.
Right.
And it kind of never really clocked it, but that's the pipe that leads from the toilets.
Yes.
And Becky definitely didn't know that. And so when Sam was going, oh, that's the pipe that leads from the toilets, she was like, no, you're lying. And we're like, no, it's true. And we went, we'll go flush the toilet and see. And she went to flush the toilet and then ran back out, but obviously the water had washed past that point.
Yeah.
I went, see, it's not that obvious, just to make sure. She went, I'll put some tissue down it and flush it down. I went, okay. She put some tissue down and flushed it down. And I saw the tissue. Yeah, it kind of is. And I watched the tissue go past. I watched the tissue go past, and she went. Oh, and she rushed out, but she didn't see it again. She went, no, you guys are messing with me. I went, no, I'll do it then. I'll go flush the tissue down the toilet. So I went in.
Is that where all our tissues go?
Yeah. And they going, oh, it's taking ages, because I thought I was just gonna make it more fun. And I did a wee, and then flushed the wee and the tissue down the toilet, rather than just flushing the toilet. But
wow.
Thank goodness for Sam's sake, because Sam said, because they thought, is he going to do a poo? And then flush the poo down. They just watched my poo go past. But I didn't have one in me. Otherwise I would have.
What a great thing to do.
Yeah, you were at work.
I was at work and I missed out on all of this lovely.
I wonder
fun.
how long it would take for my poo to make its way from the upstairs toilet though down to the.
Yeah,
I hope
don't
no one
care.
I
don't care for this conversation or to find out how long it would take.
But I just thought I'd wind them up by weeing
I
in
did
there.
look under the manhole cover because I can't remember last time I looked in there. And
it's a lot cleaner than I expected.
There's nothing down there. It's just pipe down there, and it looks absolutely fine, which I was amazed at. To be honest, I thought it'd be a mess down there,
I thought it would
like
as well.
everything else seems to be when you look at it. But yes, there you go. That's something else to do. Then,
That's a
isn't
bit rude, as everything else seems to be when you look at it, and you looked at me.
Well, I didn't particularly because I haven't got my glasses on, so
Do you know I'm here?
Yeah, I know you're there because I can hear a noise and there's a
And your
blurry
vision is based
sort of
on movement.
It
so
is,
if
yes.
I move,
and you are moving.
hang on. If I
so-
if I sit really still,
yeah. Hello.
do you see me?
Yes, I can see you still. Yes, so yes, lots been happening then. So there's the flushing things down the toilet thing,
Yeah.
and then there's the yoga thing, and there's the shed, laying on the shed thing. So it's really been a busy week, hasn't it?
Very busy week.
Busy week.
All that last bit for me happened today.
Yeah, you
Nothing else of
you
interest
crammed all
happened.
yours in in the last day. But what a busy week it's been.
Oh, some Oreos.
Oh yes, yeah. Oh wow. Do you know, people must sit and listen to this and think, God, I feel better about my life now.
I think so.
Because this has happened to me. I got run over twice this week by a bus, but at least I haven't flushed the toilet then run down to see if I could see things flowing down there.
I went away.
Laid on a shed.
I went away over a week ago, and I've still not put everything back.
Have you not? Oh, you haven't, have you?
No.
You're such a slob. The sooner you move out,
Hey, it's sunny today.
it is.
You know what
sunny
that
today.
means?
Sun's out.
Tongues out. It means it's closer to pizza oven weather.
Closer to, but it still hasn't happened yet, has it?
No. Also, another thing. We watched videos of the snow today.
Oh, you were watching them, weren't you?
Yeah.
Because I came in
When we went
and I couldn't find anybody, and then I heard all this laughter from the front room, and you were watching things and people falling into stuff and,
Oh God.
and falling off sleds and all this sort of thing. So
This is rather boring so far, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, for 100th episode.
It is. But, I think that it would be terrible for us to do anything different from normal just because it's the 100th episode, I mean, we've got things
Yeah, to be fair, our normal thing is have a loose topic and talk nonsense. And so far, we've got a very loose topic of the 100th episode.
The 100th episode. Okay, so... I mean...
I thought there might have been more, like all the celebratory drinks that we had throughout the week.
Did we?
Up to 100th episode, but we didn't do it.
No, we didn't.
I've got a cider sitting on this shelf.
Have you?
Thought about opening for the 100th
When did that
episode.
get up there? That was on the side. How did that happen? Well,
It's
you
been
could
up there for
you
about
could
a
open it up and drink it now if you want. Well, why don't you?
I'm not going to.
Driving to and fro from work 5 days this week. What on earth do you think I spied? Let's take a little peek. A minibus of singing priests. A note to a front door reading off. 2 crows having a fight with a goose. A man weeing behind an empty portaloo. Driving to and fro from work 5 days this week. That was some of the things I spied. See you in a few weeks.
So you've seen some interesting stuff this week.
I have seen some interesting stuff this week. Yes, the singing priest was something like out of Father Ted.
Yeah.
The note was something that's not too unusual where I work, just handwritten on the front door. I don't know who they were expecting.
And a man weeing behind.
There was a man weeing behind. Well, in the London landmarks, obviously they've got portaloos around the course, and I watched a man run up to the portaloo, run behind it, and do a wee behind it. Now, when you go and hide yourself behind something to have a wee, it happens. That's fair enough. But why hide yourself behind a portaloo which is actually vacant, so you could have gone in there and done it? So I don't even think he realised it was a portaloo. I think he just went behind it anyway. But that's the London landmarks for you.
I saw some interesting things in London last weekend, which I realised I probably should have mentioned earlier on the podcast.
Okay, what are they?
When I was in London over the weekend,
Yes.
I saw an entire choir, and they were holding sticks.
Yeah.
Like almost looked like broomsticks. It looked like the entire Gryffindor Quidditch team was walking past.
Yes.
Yeah, that was fun.
That
I
wouldn't
enjoyed
be
that.
unusual in London.
And I was standing in London, and Becky went, "Look behind you." And I looked behind me, and there was a donkey there.
A what?
A man walking his donkey.
A man dressed as a donkey?
No. Real life donkey. Man walking his
A
donkey.
man walking a donkey?
Yeah.
In the city of London, because we were right in the city
I mean,
of
it's
London.
worth bearing in mind that it was also London landmarks, the event. But
Do you think he was there for that?
no, I just think he brought his donkey for a walk. No, I think he's
Who
probably.
has a
I think he's
donkey?
probably with
Who
the
has a
Quidditch team.
donkey?
He's probably with the Quidditch team.
What do you mean he was with the Quidditch? Why would he be with the Quidditch team?
Don't know.
Why would someone have a donkey in London? That's mad.
In case they need to transport a virgin. Also,
Well, they're in the wrong place then, aren't they? Right, anyway. Okay, yeah.
yeah, we've been joined by a guest.
Oh, no, we haven't, have we?
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
God's
noticed it
sake.
in the room, just over in the corner over there is a noff,
Yeah.
which is what we call a moth when we can't determine whether it's a moth or a gnat. So we call them noffs.
Right.
I'm just gonna get them.
Oh,
on
yeah.
mic, yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, I am a noff.
My God. Really?
Yes, I am a noff.
So you don't even know if you're a gnat or a moth then?
I'm a noff.
Yeah, so you don't know.
I like the podcast.
Do you like the podcast, do
Yes,
you?
very
I've got a
good.
feeling this might be the last one.
Why?
Because I don't think anybody's going to be listening to
Is
this
it-
for much
is it-
longer.
Is it because people have had enough?
Yes. Thank you very much for joining us. Bye. Bye. Oh, dear.
Nice than enough to join us, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's something for the Noff. Yeah. Now, that's lovely.
Yeah, I hope
Wow.
he comes back.
No, I hope he's gone forever. I hope he flies into a really, really, really hot light bulb. Right. Okay.
It's the 100th episode.
It's 100th
Let's move on to our
episode,
actual
yes.
topic.
Okay, right.
So what we've done is we've done the pre-ramble for the first 15 minutes plus a bit more.
It's just
we haven't actually made it onto the topic yet.
It's just heaven knows what it'd have been like if I hadn't have had a coffee as well.
Was that coffee you drank?
Yeah,
Wasn't
to
it
try and
tea?
keep myself awake.
Is it because we're recording this quite late?
Yes,
It's
it
quarter
is.
past
And
9.
I've been up since sort of 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just a few things about this then. Let's not just brush over the fact that this is a big milestone for us.
We celebrated at 50.
We did indeed.
So let's ignore that. First 50 episodes.
Nothing. Well, no, the whole point of this is that we started this process of doing these, and we've talked about this before, but it's worth just reminding people that you came up with an idea about doing a podcast. I was a bit reluctant at first, but then we decided, we'll give it a go. We recorded a couple. We didn't even put it out at first. We just sort of listened to it back, went through a couple of versions of it because we weren't sure what we wanted to do, and then we kicked it off. Now, when I look back at what we've done, I mean, we got to about, I think, 15, which was our musicals.
Yeah, we thought it was a
biggie,
big number, didn't we?
So we did a musical for that one, and we were really pleased with that. But that was 15. That we weren't hardly even started at that point, and then obviously. We got to 50, and we, like you say, we celebrated that a bit. But I think we were a bit cocky then. I think we thought, well, we're there now. We're going to keep this going.
I think it's because we've always kind of thought, without sounding funny, we've always kind of thought we'll do this, but we don't know how long it's going to last. And we always were right at the beginning.
We always
we were like,
maintained
I wonder if
the
we'll be
fact.
doing this next year. And now we've been doing it for 2 years.
Which is madness, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And to be honest,
over 2 years.
It's the fact that we, in a way, we shoot ourselves in the foot by doing a different subject every week because we've talked about all the rules.
It's all right. We did camping twice.
I know, and we'll probably do it again now. We're going to get a new tent. But the thing is that I think right at the beginning you said to me, right, these are kind of what they suggest you do.
Would camping free be chipwrecked?
What, like Alvin and the Chipmunks? Yeah. Are you actually listening to me at all, or are you just sitting there? Is that Noff flown into your brain or something and eating it? So.
You want me back?
Oh no. I wish I hadn't mentioned it now. No. So look, we do these subjects. When you talked to me about it at the beginning, you said it's probably best to have a certain subject. Most podcasts are about a certain subject. And then, you do this, that and the other. Don't make them longer than about 40 minutes. And what do we do now? We make them over an hour. We do them about different subjects, every single one. I mean, even the fact we've thought of 100 different things to talk about.
One of the golden rules with making a podcast is you have a niche and you stick to it, and you try and just keep it because you're going to bring people in because of that topic. And what we really do, and we've seen it, is we do a topic that one person will love, and then they'll do a topic next week and they'll hate it, which means that
the enthusiasm wanes a bit.
We can't have consistent listeners.
Well, I guess
we've even spoken to people that said, "Oh yeah, if the topic doesn't interest me, then I'll skip it."
Yeah, but that's
with
fair
that,
enough.
I'm okay.
But
with
I've got podcasts that I listen to that are more sort of generic. So the whole point of them is they just chat.
I think this is what this is, but we've kind of done a generic.
I think if you look
chat,
at the titles,
but
people will think
have a topic to chat about.
Right. Well, what I do. But actually, like we say, we don't tend to really talk. We some of them more than others. Perhaps some of them we get into more than others, or perhaps
like
if
flight.
it's or if it's something that we don't know a lot about. Are you all right there?
Yeah. It's that tea I drank really quickly.
Oh, is it right?
Yeah.
So if it's subject we don't know much about, then you might do a little bit more sort of delve in to get some information about it. So there might be a bit more about it. And then there's subjects we think we know something about, and then we get on here and we don't know much about it. And because we do this on the fly, really, don't we? We kind of just...
Sometimes we come up with ideas of stuff just because we want to do them. Like, there's been plenty of podcasts before. Let's do a topic about a certain genre just because we want to write short stories about that genre.
Yeah. No,
There's been a few like that.
There's certainly, we come up with a few like that. We'll probably get onto a few of the different ones we've done as well. Why do you do it? We've touched on it a bit, but I've put down here, why do we do it? So
the massive paycheck.
Really?
No.
Is it only, I was going to say it's only you that get that then, because I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, I've not been paid.
No?
No.
Okay. So why do you do this?
Enjoyment.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it. I enjoy recording them. I enjoy the topics. I enjoy buying the equipment. That makes me feel good.
Well, you like your tech, don't you?
I like having a chat with you every week.
Yeah.
I mean, we chat throughout the week, but I like having this thing that we do together.
Yes. Well, I would agree. I do it. I do get a lot of fun out of it. It is quite good fun.
Yeah, you look like you're having fun. Look at your face.
I can't see my face. I can imagine what my face looks like, but
your face is a bit like your face. Your face, actually, fair. Your face is the same as what you sound right now.
Your face. If your face was a face, it would look like your face.
If your face was the clock on Elizabeth Tower, then it would currently be 9:15 because it's just straight line.
Wow, that bad, eh? No, I mean, personally, I do these because I have good fun. I mean, we did it at the beginning. I was a bit reluctant, but I do enjoy them. We have had some real laughs doing it. I like the idea of stretching myself a bit, sort of musically and that, because I do a lot of the music and that comes in and out of this podcast.
There's a Noff doing a light show. Sorry, it keeps flying next to the light
laser
bulbs,
show.
so
Yeah,
massive shadows.
You don't need any more distraction, do you? Really? That's and I agree with you. Actually, when I talk to other people about doing this, and they say, "Oh right," and they go, right, you and your son do it. Oh, I bet that's really good, isn't it?
Because to be fair, a lot of people like the idea that I do it with my dad rather than the fact that I do it.
You take for granted the fact that, and to a certain extent, I take for granted that I actually sit and talk to you, and on these, but just generally, and your sisters as well. Not everybody, when you talk to other people, they go, "Oh, my son don't even." Hardly even talks to me, let alone does a podcast with me. And I guess, that's not to be taken for granted either. So I do appreciate that, even though you do give me a lot of grief on this. But it's, why do you think people listen to it? Wow, there's big silence here. They do listen to it now. I do know quite a lot of people that do listen to it.
Yeah, at least 2.
Yeah.
Actually, one person that I know that listens to it is currently very far behind.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I know someone who's listens to it who's very far behind, so they better get a move on. By the time they listen to this...
Because we can call them names right now.
Yeah.
And they won't know for a couple of years.
Well, no, quite. They'll be about December before they get to this particular one. No, there are a number. I mean, over the period of the time we've done these, we've laughed about the fact that, I've been approached by people that I kind of know but don't, or just they've found out about the podcast for other people. And one of the most bizarre points was while I was walking along the road, and a car was driving down that road and pulled up just to let some traffic through, and I could hear your voice in their car. They were playing one of our podcasts.
Radio, yeah.
And
I've had messages from friends. Going, "You have a podcast?" And I go, "Yeah, I do."
Yeah. So no, and it's weird, really. And I think probably people dip in and out of these things. I mean, I dip in and out of podcasts. I will listen to.
Well, I'm about a month and a half behind on one of my favourite podcasts at the moment.
No, exactly. Well, I tend to listen to a big block of them, and then I won't listen to them for a little while.
And this is the thing. We release them, supposedly, every week.
Yeah.
And it's understandable people fall behind. But it's unforgivable if you don't catch up again.
No, it is. No,
I think,
absolutely.
I think people listen to us because of our relationship and our bond and our discussions. I don't think people listen to us to learn anything.
Are you really?
Yep.
Do you know I've put so much effort into that over the?
Well,
I know people.
you really
I know
shouldn't.
certain people who listen to this podcast think I'm a little bit thick.
There's people that listen to this podcast that send us notes to correct certain things.
Oh, I don't mind being corrected. I mean, I'm not that sort of precious about things, but I think it frightens me how much trivia I've picked up over this period of time. If I've been sitting down, you laughed about me watching quizzes.
Yeah, we've
right?
watched quizzes, and you've turned around to me, gone, "Hey, it's on the
episode
podcast."
episode 56 or episode 75. You'll
What
find
was
that one
episode
out.
56?
I don't know. I could probably tell you. Hang on. I could probably tell you because it might. No, actually, that might give away one of the questions in the quiz.
I could tell you. I know.
Hold on.
We are the Romans.
Ah.
We run from no men. That was
There we go.
the thing of the song
Yeah,
in the Romans episode.
but
I like that song. It's a good song.
I think probably people listen to it because we don't take ourselves seriously. We sort of rip it out of each other, and we don't worry that much about what goes on in it. We don't try to be too structured with it. We just, go with the flow. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes we're tired.
And we try to have a laugh with whatever we're talking about. We try and steer clear of really serious subjects for obvious reasons, because we wouldn't give it the gravitas
Brought
that
up
it needs.
religion a few times.
We have, but then we've quickly sidestepped because we don't really want to get involved in it. I think we talked about it for our Easter episode because it was relevant. But there's plenty of people out there that could have a proper conversation about religion. We're not those people.
Or politics.
Or politics, because really, I'd love to sit and talk to people about politics, but it's not something I particularly want to do as part of this.
I'd rather talk to people about dogs.
Or noths. Dogs, interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Could be
and I
upcoming
think
topic.
one of the things was we started this off in the pandemic.
That's when most podcasts started.
There was a lot of podcasts starting, and for a good reason. But I know that our family members and people that live perhaps a little way away from where we are, it was a huge lifeline, or that makes it sound bigging ourselves up, but not so much as like it was just that to hear people's voices.
Yeah,
it kind of connected our family because. Like
you got people like Nanny Joyce. So Nanny Joyce used to live on her own.
Yeah.
Sue lives on her own. Nanny Dot lives on her own.
Yeah.
You got these people that just, and actually to be fair with each of those as well, they're quite often people that live off of and just enjoy other people enjoying themselves.
Yeah,
I
mean? Think if you, it's like anything. If
Although
I listen,
Nanny Dot does sometimes listen to this podcast to go to sleep. So good night, Nan.
Yeah,
hope you have a pleasant sleep.
Well, she's probably already gone by now.
Already gone, yeah.
She's probably asleep.
I think
by now.
she left way before than off.
Yeah, if she had any sense, she probably hit herself over the head with something just to go to sleep. No, it was a connection, and we had people saying to us, "Oh, it's just nice to hear your voices, and it's nice to." And I think most people, I certainly do, when you hear people doing something, it's always the same with TV programs. When people on TV programs are really laughing, they lose it, they corpse or whatever, and they're enjoying what they do as much as people watching them are enjoying it, then when we really laugh or when we lose it a little bit, I'm sure that is quite entertaining.
Contagious, isn't it? Laughter is contagious.
Yeah.
So is COVID.
And so it still is, yes. I'm afraid it still is, yes. He says with a really low gravity voice, but
yes, it is.
It's not COVID.
It's not COVID.
It's not COVID. So look, 100 episodes, right? We've talked in the 50th birthday celebration anniversary. We talked about sort of quite a few of the ones that we'd done up
so the
until
first
then.
49 episodes.
Yeah.
But we don't care about those first 49 episodes.
They're done.
Ugh,
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah. So
Actually, they're not gross. They're quite good. You should go back and listen.
I've put down, I don't know about you, but I've written down here some of my favourite episodes. And
I've
why.
written down some of my favourite of the last 49.
Yeah?
Not the ones before that.
Let's see if they see if they sort of match up. So I've got down one of my favourites that we did was quite early on in the second half of this century.
Should we say it together?
Ready?
3.
And what
two.
are you going to say? Are you going to say the number? Are you
I'm
going to
say the name
Right.
and then the number.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Espionage 52.
52. Yes. Well, that's weird because I did. We even the title of that kind of threw people, but it was basically spies and stuff. And
We should have just called it Spies and Stuff. Spies
right.
and Stuff.
But I think from the content when we went through some of the secret surfaces,
Yeah. Basically glass.
things that you don't,
don't
know
even know
about,
they're there.
yeah, you didn't know was behind something. The application forms for jobs there and that, and even that. I mean, this was actual stuff that was dragged off of their site, but it was entertaining in itself to go through that and see what there was.
I enjoyed the stories.
Oh, but yeah, and I was coming on to that. And
Sorry.
I think I love doing the songs, right? I do enjoy doing the songs for each episode and bits and pieces, you know, in the episode with the music. But when we get around to doing an episode where we do some stories, we write a story, whatever it is, it's great fun. I love doing that.
Fun.
And we did, I would thoroughly recommend to anybody to seek out those ones. I think we did fairy tales, we did espionage before that.
Adventure as well.
Adventure we did one as well, didn't we?
Books, didn't we do one for books as well?
Yeah. So
we did we wrote TV shows, didn't we? Write ideas for TV shows.
I did. So we've done something different in a lot of these different ones, but yeah, I think those ones are some of my favourites. So the espionage one, I think you wrote 3 stories in there. I tend to write one longer one, and you tend to write 3 punchy sort of ones, don't you? But we might come back to that a little bit in the quiz.
Next one. So, is your next one in the 60s?
I've got one in the 60s. Should I choose the one that I had in the 60s and see if it's the same one?
Yeah, should we do it on 3 again?
Okay.
Actually, do you want to do your one before that first?
Okay then. Right. Well, I'm not sure if I got them in order or not. So
can I guess what it is?
Go on.
Your next Robin Hood.
Wow, it is Robin Hood.
Episode 57.
So episode 57, we did Robin Hood. Now, I've had a few ideas to do things in these podcasts. They haven't always, and we'll come on to this, they haven't always worked out when we've actually done them. But you know when you have a great idea and you think, this will work?
Yeah.
And we chatted about it and we said, right, talk about Robin Hood. And we said, well, we could do a version of Robin Hood. We could play it out.
Sorry, 2 seconds. I'm just going to highlight this now. Because I'm looking at the time. This is going to be a longer episode, just to let you know.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
We're not. It's a while yet before we even get onto the song. Carry on.
Anyway, right, about Robin Hood. And there were circumstances when we'd broken for a couple of weeks before we did the Robin Hood episode. Because unfortunately, my mum had died.
Yeah.
Your nan had died. And we came back, and I remember us talking at the very beginning that we had set out to do this one, so we were going to do it, and it felt weird. But when we got going on it, and again, all we did was I'd written these little pieces of music to set up each particular scene. We started and we had the finish of the scene where we would need to go, but the rest of it we just made up as we went along, which sometimes is really, really obvious when you're doing these things. But I had so much fun, and it was at a time when I really needed to laugh, and it was just a tonic I needed. And in a way, and I don't want to go on too much about this, but I just felt that your nan, my mum, would have loved it. So it felt like almost for a fitting tribute to just do what we were doing that she enjoyed. She always enjoyed them to do that and really have a laugh doing it.
Absolutely. Should we say the next one together?
Okay.
3, 2, 1. On the Run 65.
This is ridiculous because I haven't talk to you about this at all.
No, we haven't spoken about this.
No.
We said we're going to note down some things, but we haven't spoken about it. Now, in fairness, with On the Run, it might be fresh in our mind because we actually watched the clips from On the Run earlier on today.
I'd done this previous to
Now,
this.
the thing to highlight with On the Run, sorry just to jump in, but the thing with On the Run is it was built around the idea of Hunted, the TV show, where basically fugitives run off and like people who work for the police, but it's not police, they like used to work, or they might still there, but whatever. Seen as a practice thing. They track them down.
I'm more confused about that than I was before you said it.
But they track them down like as if they were actual fugitives.
Yeah.
And they've got like...
Yeah, I've seen it. It's quite aggressive at times as well.
And it's really tense. We thought we'd do it as us.
Can I just say, you pitched this idea to do this. I had no idea how it would work. It was the other way round to normal, and I was thinking, how on earth are we going to do this? This is just not going to work. But go on, carry on.
I'm going to be honest, I don't think it necessarily worked that well as a podcast.
I don't know. I've listened to it back, and it's actually quite funny. Perhaps it's
Apparently,
more funny because
Nam was listening to it, and she was trying to go to sleep, as she does when she listens to podcasts, and she couldn't go to sleep because she was crying with laughter listening to this one.
I know she's got the connection to us, so she knows who we are and why it would be funny. But
and you got approached by someone saying, "What the hell was that with this one?"
Yeah, I know. I mean, someone spoke to me about it, but not in the way of "What the hell was that? Don't ever do that again." It was "What the hell was that?" It's just mental, like.
Yeah,
and it was
mental. It's the only podcast that we've recorded as in visually as well. So if you do want to actually watch us doing this, then it is available on YouTube on our YouTube page, Father and Sundays. But yeah, that was just or if you go onto our website, actually, there's links directly to the YouTube videos on there. But that was just a mental episode. We did two versions of it. One was just the clips, so you could just watch it from start to finish as us running around. And there was one where we talked about in between two bits.
Yeah,
that was just a mental episode. And we actually have got an intention to do it again, haven't we?
We are going to do it again, whether we actually do it as part of this. But
because it was in the Easter holidays last year.
It was literally
about a year ago. We won't be doing it that soon because we haven't prepared for it.
No, but look, it was,
and it'll probably be released as just a YouTube video rather than being released as an episode.
Technically, it was very difficult, and you've done an incredible job putting that together. The concept of it, complicated, but we went for it. We all went, and we were really blessed to have Becky and Sam who joined us and really made that work.
It was hilarious.
Both of them played such a massive part in why that was so much fun that day.
Sam going, and I'm wearing sunglasses because it's a nice day.
And Becky just being Becky, which was really just, me and her were having so much fun, but it was so tense.
So tense. I was watching it back today and you guys were so tense.
We were so tense, but such a laugh. And I think the actual way it worked out, it's not like a spoiler or anything, it actually went perfectly. And it wasn't staged, as far as we set it up, but everything that happened from the moment we left each other was what happened. It was nothing sort of, and I think it couldn't have worked any better, you know.
Let's move on because it's been because we're spending a fair bit of time on this bit, so that's all right.
Last one.
You've only got one more.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a number more. So I'm going to crack through some mine because I reckon your last one is. Can we say at the same time what I think your last one's going to be?
Okay, go on then.
3, 2, 1. Christmas
Getting old.
pantomime.
No.
Oh, okay. The pantomime was interesting though. That was really funny because you knew what you're doing with the story and I didn't.
This is a classic example of me having a grand idea of doing the Christmas Carol with all these sound effects in the background, writing little pieces of music for each of the ghosts of Christmas, past, present and future.
Yeah.
Doing again what we've done before, which is, like I say to you, right, we need to get from A to B in this scene. We do it however way you want to do it, but, you know, and maybe say we need to mention such and such in it. But I've got this is, because I also wrote down not so keen on and why, and that was in which was episode 85 Christmas pantomime. I've written down, when in your head something seems a great idea, but when we go to record, we're not the same wavelength, because we weren't on the same wavelength.
We were a
at
little
all.
bit grumpy after we did it.
And it seems chaotic, right? However, I listened back to it. When I'd listened back to it, when all the music was in it, and when it was all joined together, it made me laugh a lot.
What's funny is there's been a number of podcasts that we recorded where they have, at the time, been all over the place, and we've gone, I'm not sure about that, and we've listened back to them, they've been a lot better than what they are. Has also gone the other way around as well, where we've gone, that was a really good one,
And
we've
then I've listened to it, I thought, really? What was I thinking?
I'm going to quick fire through some then,
Yep.
because as I know your one's getting old, I'll stop. I'm doing them in order.
Yeah.
So my next one up was Extreme Weather, episode 71.
Yep.
I thought it was just a really good conversation. Not
Yep.
necessarily anything that special that happened, but I just enjoyed the conversation.
To be honest, it was a good subject matter. I really enjoyed the subject matter. There was loads that I really enjoyed. I enjoyed most of them,
yeah,
really. There's elements of them all.
I can't say there's any that I've not enjoyed at all.
Yeah.
And then Adventure.
Adventure was great.
Episode 81. That one again was fun because we wrote stories.
Yeah.
And interestingly, we both wrote stories about the Amazon.
Bizarrely, yeah.
And then
that
we
was
did an
another.
episode- we did
we
an
did
episode on
another
the Amazon, yeah.
episode called The Amazon, yeah.
84.
Right?
Do you know what that one is?
Cooking.
Cooking. Yeah, 84 cooking. That was just,
Well, I nearly
really
put
enjoyed
that down
the
on my
cooking.
list because it was an idea that I didn't again know whether it would work on it as
There
a
was some
podcast.
stuff that was disgusting.
But
Do you remember those
we'll
crisps I
We'll
made?
get on to that.
The crisps you made, they're both
Thanks very
disgusting.
much for that. Yeah, but that still, I thought I really enjoyed that
Yeah,
podcast.
those little pizza things, I've made them
And
since,
other
but they
people
were
who've
amazing.
listened to that have enjoyed that podcast because it was just something a little bit different.
I've got one more,
Okay.
but my one more comes after your getting old one.
Okay,
do you
so
want
I'll
to
just talk
talk
about getting old. I just think it was a funny episode. I wanted to do it because I thought it would be something that we could have a laugh with. What was great was I put something out to friends through social media, and they come back with all bits about how things that make them feel old, why, what they don't like about it. So we were able to bring all that into the podcast as well, which was good to have some other input into it. I thought the chat at the end was quite an eye-opener. No, quite funny, because obviously your observations about myself and the way I am and all the rest of it, we always laugh about that. And a rather selfish side of it, I think it's one of the best songs I've ever written.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's good.
'cause
That's a good reason.
I love the song.
I really like a Nushi Coo, but carry
Yeah,
on.
no, I really like that song. And yeah, I just thought the whole episode was real good fun.
Okay, I'm going to mention my last one.
Yeah.
There's a lot I'm proud of, and there's a lot that's amazing. And we've already mentioned some. There's one that we mentioned, one that had Becky and Sam involved, which was On the Run. We haven't mentioned Fizz, which Becky and Sam were involved, but I think that's probably worth forgetting. Not because it's not a bad one to listen to, but because we all felt really sick because we drank so many fizzy drinks, and I'm sure that's probably on your ones that weren't that great. But another one of my top ones was episode 97, Mother and Sundays. Now, we've actually done 2 Mother's Days episodes in the last 49. That's because we did one on the first Mother's Day, and we spoke a lot about Nam because she just recently passed away.
Yeah, the one after Robin Hood, that was, yeah.
And then we also had Mother and Sundays, which was very recently, and that was there was a number of things that were good in there. I just really enjoyed our your mum jokes. I don't know why, but they really got to me, and I really enjoyed those.
Stupid, but
They were just
funny.
stupid. And also just the conversation with Annie as well.
No, it was really nice, and I think doing bits and pieces like that.
And I think she enjoyed it.
Yeah, she seemed to enjoy it as well. No, I'd agree. See, look, I'll tell you what, right? I do know why people would want to listen to this, because they are good fun, and we've done loads of them, and you've rattled off a few there that I thought, oh yeah, but I just chose a few that I thought.
And this is the funny thing as well, is it just in complete honesty with everyone here is. I think we both were a bit like, I don't know if we've got loads we could talk about. That's why we spent so long talking about ourselves at the start. One, because, we're taking the opportunity to talk about ourselves, but I think we both kind of saw 100 episode. We haven't actually got a topic. There's not a lot for us to speak about. But look at this. We've been speaking for 30 minutes.
Because we're talking about other bits and pieces and, you know, things we enjoy about it. And I don't
we've been
care.
speaking
It's
almost
great.
30 minutes solidly about...
Yeah, about our own episodes and doing
podcasts.
bits and pieces.
I think it just shows how much we enjoy them.
Yeah.
I mean, there were some. I'm pretty sure you've got a couple on the list
No,
there.
the only two I had on there that I particularly were flagging up as ones that I would like to forget. Now, I did put Christmas Pantomime. We've talked about that. But as I said,
it was actually quite
I
good.
listened to it again and I did find it really funny. And what's funny about it is my own frustration that's clearly showing through.
Another really good one, sorry, just to mention, last week's one, Chocolate, is because Becky gets so frustrated at the end when she
Becky
loses the
loses
chocolate
it
quiz.
and comes out with some bizarre hybrid sayings that I've never heard before. Anyway, the other one, and you've already mentioned it, was Fizz.
That did actually, when you listened to the episode, was good. But I tell you what, we drank about, was it like 30s? I think.
Some ridiculous amount of
me,
drinks.
you, Becky, and Sam all sitting there in the evening, and we felt so sick afterwards.
But it was relentless. I went a bit over the top at the beginning. Instead of just taking a sip of something, I'd take a few mouthfuls. So by the time I got halfway through, probably even before that, I was feeling really ropey. And it just seemed to go on and on and on forever. So it's not got pleasant memories for me. I haven't listened to that again, I don't think, since the
don't know if you
just
bring
the
yourself to
edit
do
of it. But yeah, other than that, all wonderful.
Well, after a very long start to this podcast,
Yeah, sorry about
it
that.
seems like it's finally time for a song.
There is a song,
Because
so
it's been 100 episodes, maybe a special 100.
I have written a special 100 episode song, and it's called, and I've remembered it for once, 100 Not Out. Give it a go.
All right, I'll hit play.
There is 100 years in a century. There's 100 shiny pennies in a pound. Water boils at 100 Celsius. These facts are undisputed, safe and sound. There's 100 letter tiles in a Scrabble game. 100 sweat glands in an inch of skin. If I reach 100, I'm a centenarian. You can shrug all you want, but that's how it is. You might want to analyze your dreams or think about pirates a lot. Your thing might be Japan, flight or camping. And that's why we're not gonna stop. 100 down, 100 to go. 100 down, 100 to go. Folk can run 100 in 958. The square root of 100 is 10. The longest limo ever was 100 foot long. What do you think about that then? England fought France in the 100-Year War, although it lasted 116. We've reached 100 episodes, what a feat. Not too bad for a couple of days. You might believe in urban myths, love triceratops. Obsessed with disasters, Fizz or King Arthur. And that's why we're not gonna stop. 100 down, 100 to go, not gonna stop. 100 down, 100 to go.
Game time.
I like that song.
I'm glad you like that song.
Should we play a game now?
We could play a game
'Cause
now.
100 episodes. The game.
100 episode game. So I thought
I don't know where
check with
my
you.
mind there wasn't fully functioning.
Yes, I don't know quite what was going on there. I thought I would check with you how much you remember about the second half of that 100. There might be
So the
one.
49.
Yeah. There might be something from the beginning, but we'll see. So I've got a question.
Is there something from the beginning?
Yes, there is. So I've got a number of questions for you. So why don't you hit our sting?
How many questions?
20.
Whoa.
Oh, no.
Madness. I'll hit this. You've written a sting?
I've written a sting.
Really?
Yeah.
When did you write it?
Oh, ages ago.
Yeah. How long ago?
About a minute.
Okay. Was it because we're waiting for something to process?
Yes.
100. Quiz.
What a lovely sting.
Thought you'd like that. That's why I took so much
think
time over it.
It's worthy
Of 100
of
episodes.
100 episodes.
I'm glad you think so.
Because it took you about 100 seconds to
It
write
did.
it.
You want a quiz, don't you?
Yeah.
You want a quiz
it's
about-
classic quiz.
It's called How's Your Memory Quiz, right?
Did I get that from the sting? Or?
No, you didn't.
I didn't
because
get
I've
it from
forgotten
the
I'd called it that.
sting. Okay.
So
it's
I've
worth
got a number of
noting
questions. Yeah.
That I've recorded every episode, but I don't listen.
You don't listen to them.
I haven't necessarily
But you
listened
might
to them.
remember these, right? Some of them more recent, but some of them are, a little while ago now. So shall we kick off?
Yeah, because we had a break, so it's actually been longer than a
Yeah, it's
year
been
since
longer
our
than
50th.
it was to go up to our 50, yeah. Okay, question 1. From episode 51, which was Dreams,
dreams.
the
do
lyrics
come
to
true.
the featured song Dreams, It's Just Like Being Awake, except A, was it your girlfriend's Rita Ora and your best friend's a rake? Was it B, your shoes are full of water and your vest's full of cake? Or was it C, you're wearing Batman PJs and your bed's in a lake?
Your girlfriend's Rita Ora and your best friend's a rake.
That's absolutely true. Yeah, it was Dreams. It's just like being awake, except your girlfriend's Rita Ora and your best friend's a rake. Question 1 in the bag. Question 2. From the espionage episode 52, we wrote our own spy
If
stories.
they go in order.
No.
Okay.
Our own spy stories, but can you remember the finer details? So from your story titled The Quiet Village, what pet did the main protagonist Jason have? Was it A, a squirrel called Paul?
I wrote this.
Was it?
one.
Yes, I know you did. And look at your face. You're at utter panic. Was it B, a dog called Stephen? Or was it C, a cat called Lawrence?
I don't remember him having a pet.
Oh my God, that was the whole point of the story.
What?
Wowee.
It's a squirrel named.
A squirrel called Paul, a dog called Stephen, or a cat called Lawrence?
A dog called Stephen.
Was that a guess?
Yeah.
Yes, it was a pug called Stephen.
You know what? It was a guess, but there was something in my mind saying, go for Stephen.
Yeah. But that was quite funny, yeah. That was a real twist in your tale.
How
that's
did it
the
come
pug.
into play?
Well, because he thought he was the spy, but actually it was the pug that was the spy, and the pug started talking to him about this adventure he was going to go on, or this mission he was going to have to go on.
I don't remember it
Wow,
at all.
all set in Tollsbury. Right, anyway, in
remember
present
it being-
day Tollsbury. Right, question 3.
I remember it being a Tollsbury.
Also
it's
from
because I'm
the-
mixing it with the adventure one where they're in the Amazon.
Also from the same espionage episode, what was so unusual about the Russian spy stroke femme fatale that Jack Fury met in bar studs in Dad's story, Sphincter? Was it A, she had 3 fingers on each hand? Was it B, she had a glass eye? Or was it C, she had no upper torso?
I remember it, really. I do remember this one very well. She had legs all the way up to her armpits, which is odd because she didn't have
Yes,
a torso.
that's absolutely true. And she wiped a tear away with her foot. Question 4. So that's 3 out of 3, yeah. Question 4.
I'm going to need to remember the story about Jason again.
Episode 65 was different in the fact that it largely took place in a different location, but a couple of phrases became legendary in this episode when uttered by the participants. Can you name them? On the run.
Yeah, I know it's on the run.
Yeah.
Do you want me to name them or are you going to list some?
No. I've got 4 down here and I want you to get a couple of them at least.
Okay. Waylay 'em.
Waylay is one of them, yes.
Waylay 'em was one. That was you. Have you got Sam's one? And today I've got my sunglasses on because it's a nice day.
It's not quite that. It's I've just got my phone and my sunglasses because it's nice weather today.
and David appears to have dropped his bag, but with his disguises, so I'm wearing them. It's a good disguise.
Very good. I'm wearing them because it's a good disguise. And there was one more I had.
Would you mind giving me a clue as to who said it?
It was Becky who said it.
That's definitely Sam. He said that's definitely Sam.
No,
because he's wearing
that would have been a good
wearing
one.
all black, holding a phone.
I was looking for Jesus.
That's the other one I was going to say.
Jesus. Right, question
That was
5.
genuinely, I was going to say that or the other one. Okay. None of them were me.
No.
Not that interesting.
Because you kept it together.
I kept going, Sam, you're rubbish with those games.
Question 5. In the infamous episode Fizz 78, we took on the excruciating task of sampling far too many fizzy drinks. But which one of these was not a drink sampled on that fateful afternoon? Was it A, Mountain Dew? Was it B, Fanta Grapefruit? Or was it C, Vimto?
Fanta Grapefruit.
It was Fanta Grapefruit. You're doing well on these. Question 6.
Have I got them all right?
I think so. On the 20th of November 2022, we released episode 80 after a gap of a number of weeks. But what was it titled? Was it titled A,
I know the answer, but okay, go
We're
ahead.
Back? Was it titled B, The Return? Or was it titled C, Did You Miss Us?
It was called The Return.
It was called The Return. Wow, you're going through these. Question 7, you've mentioned it already. From episode 56, The Romans, in the song We Are the Romans, what do you sing that you're hoping for when we see Caesar? Is it D? Oh, D? Is it A, that he's in a good mood? Is it B, that his legs are akimbo? Or is it C, that his thumbs are pointing up?
Thumbs are pointing up.
Yes, he's correct. Our emperor is Caesar. He's such a
He's a
diamond geezer. You better hope that when he sees you, his thumbs are pointing up.
Yeah.
Question 8. In episode 7...
Forgot I was part of that song.
You sang that bit.
Yeah, I
in
forgot about
episode
that.
79, we talked about our beloved Essex. There was, of course, a song. But which one of the following people were not mentioned? A,
Oh, this is going to be tough.
Dame Vera Lynn. B, Ollie Murs. C, Russell Brand.
That's really tough. Is Dame Vera Lynn from Essex?
All 3 of those people were from Essex.
I didn't know Dame Vera Lynn was. Who? Ollie Murs. Ollie Murs.
It is, in fact, Russell Brand. That's the first one you got wrong. Both Dame Vera Lynn and Ollie Murs are mentioned
Don't even remember
in
the song, I'm going to be
Essex
honest.
song. Question 9. At the beginning of January 2023, we released the episode Crime and Punishment, and there was a suitable song to mark the occasion. But which one of the following crimes was not mentioned in that song? Was it A, setting fire to a bank? Was it B, showing your wiener in public? Or was it C, stealing Chris from Londis?
Setting fire to a bank.
It was setting fire to a bank. Well done.
Again, don't remember it, but
Question 10. Going back to the very first episode.
I don't remember very much. I'm not
Theme
gonna lie.
parks. After the normal introduction, what were the first few words said? Was it A, okay, so you are listening to? Was it B, well, this is it then, Dad? Or was it C, hello and welcome to?
Well, this is it then, Dad.
That is correct. That's the first word you said after the introduction on our very first podcast.
Well, this is it then, Dad.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. But it was with really crackly potato mics.
Yeah, and with a big gap where I went, so you said, well, so this is it then, Dad? Yes, because there was a big delay on it. Question 11. So that was the first ever episode. Well, what about the last one we released? In the episode Chocolate, we had a taste test where Becky joined us, but rather presumptuously, she had her own sting. But can you remember it?
Yeah. So, oh, chocolate bar, how do you taste?
It was, in fact, yes, 3, 2, 1. Chocolate bar, oh, chocolate bar, how do you taste? Brilliant. Question 12.
There's no A, B, and C in that one.
Yeah.
Was there an A, B, and C and I just skipped
No,
it?
that was it.
Okay.
Question 12. In the episode Skyscrapers 92, the featured song was Going Up, but which of these was not listed as being on a floor? Was it floor 66, The Ghosts of Little Mix? That's A. Was it floor 44, a present for each room supplied by the Hotel Cat? Or was it C, floor 88, full of snakes?
Floor 44, the cat.
No.
Oh, what?
It was full of snakes, floor 88. There was no snakes in our hotel.
I remember the Little Mix one, though.
Question 13. In the episode Wonders of the World, 89, we come up with our own proposed new wonders. But which person from the following do I suggest is made into a living monument?
I know the answer.
Is it A, Chris Packham? Is it B, David Attenborough? Or is it C, Hamza Yassin?
It was David Attenborough and he wanted like different animals to live in, like his nostrils and stuff like that.
That was exactly true. Question 14. In the same episode, one of the new wonders of the world collated for an online poll was a statue that overlooks Rio de Janeiro called Christ the Redeemer. But what was it better known as in our podcast? Was it A, Jesus with his arms out? Was it B, Big Russell Brand making a comeback? Or was it C, Christ the Receiver?
Oh! So I feel like it might have been called Christ the Receiver at some point, but it's definitely called Jesus with his arms out.
It was Jesus with his arms out. Question 15.
I think we did call it Christ the Receiver.
We called it lots of different things. Question 15. In the Ireland episode, 96, I wrote a song for Ireland. But in that song, what were Boyzone and Westlife doing in the car park? Were they parking cars? Were they playing musical stalls? Or were they fighting?
They were fighting.
That is correct. They were fighting for who's the most crap.
Yeah.
Question 16. We're rattling through these and you've got more right than you've got wrong. Your memory is clearly not as bad as I thought it was. Question 16. In the Fairy Tales episode 63, you write a fairy story where a prince swaps bodies with someone else. But who was it? Was it A, a pauper? Was it B, a porcupine? Or was it C, a Pritt stick?
It was Prince the Porcupine.
It was the Prince and the Porcupine. That old fable.
Yeah, I remember. And does he like die at the end or something?
He
like
does
that?
die at the end. And the porcupine doesn't know what to do as a prince, so it was a terrible story.
Oh, what?
No, it was a funny story. Question 17. In the cooking episode 84, we challenged ourselves to come up with a meal plus sides for a tasting exercise at the end of the podcast. But what unlikely course on the menu was described as red, floppy, and very wet?
Red, floppy, and very wet.
Yep.
Oh, it was your crisps.
It was my crisps. 3 words to describe the opposite of what a crisp is supposed to be.
Maybe red's fine. Red would be fine.
That was because everything was red, because
But floppy and wet.
beetroot was one of my
Yeah, it
ones,
was.
and it had bled through to everything else as well. Right, well done.
right.
Question 18.
That's so
In
funny.
the adventure
That was disgusting.
episode, yeah, we were. In the adventure episode 81, we again went back to writing our own stories. Right, which of these was not a character from Dad's story?
Oh, your story. Okay.
A. Ginger Ale. B. Juan 23. C. Chief Chris P. Lettuce.
Chief crispy lettuce.
That is correct, because it was Chief Crispy Bacon.
Yeah.
Instead. Okay, this one, it's going to be a guess. So, question 19. If you sit and listen to all the 99 episodes we have released so far, how long would it take?
You know what I was going to do before this, and I forgot to do it. I was actually going to put and work it out.
Right.
I'm glad you've worked it out.
Would it take you 102 hours and 59 minutes? Would it take you 103 hours and 49 minutes? Or would it take you 104 hours and 39 minutes?
104 hours and 39 minutes.
It would take 102 hours and 59 minutes. But can we just take a moment to take that in? 102 hours, well, 103 hours practically, 59 minutes, 1 minute short of it. And once you put this one in it, it's probably going to be about 108 hours.
But the thing is, though, it's still not a good excuse to not listen to them because there's too many hours, because you could do that in just over 4 days.
No, I just can't believe we've managed to... Yeah.
You've got a long weekend at the moment. Why haven't you been listening to our podcast for 4 days?
Right. I've got some interesting facts for you. Quickly, I'm going to rattle through them before the very last question.
Okay.
Longest episode. Do you know what it is?
No.
Longest episode 87, is Crime and Punishment at 1 hour and 23 minutes. Right? Second,
I'm wondering whether we'll be at... No, I think we'll be here this time. What's second longest?
yep,
Mother and Sundays. Wasn't that
On the
longer?
Run, episode 65 at 1 hour 22 minutes. Third longest episode? Can't believe this.
Mother and Sundays?
No. Fizz, episode 78 at 1 hour and 18 minutes of just drinking.
That's why it was so
fizzy
disgusting.
drinks. What do you reckon the shortest one is?
Oh, it's going to be an early one. Maybe. Ghosts.
The shortest, there's 2 episodes at 47 minutes, right? And they're
Which, let's say, we aimed for 40 minutes initially, so...
episodes 3 and 5, that's Space and Bigfoot.
You know what? That's really irritating because Ghosts was number 2, so I was that close.
Okay, that's just a couple more things.
Space and Bigfoot. Bigfoot
How
was quite
long
a good one, actually.
do you think
Just sounded awful because of... mics.
episode 59 was? That was Greek mythology. How long do you reckon episode 59 was?
This is just a shot in the dark. Exactly an hour.
No, episode 59 was 59 minutes long.
Did you look through
Episode
all of them to see that?
60.
It was 60 minutes long.
How long do you think episode 60, which was King Arthur?
Exactly an hour.
60 minutes long. Episode 61, which was Easter, how long do you think that was?
64 minutes.
No, it was 1 hour 5 minutes.
I was close.
So you knew I wasn't going to
Yeah.
do that. Oh dear, I'm so predictable.
I'm quite impressed though. We managed to get 2 spot on.
Yeah, I know, it was ridiculous. When I looked at it, I thought, what?
They won't be spot on, but yeah.
Yeah,
But Spotify, you've looked at Spotify, haven't you? And they only tell you hours and minutes.
yeah.
Yeah, because in reality it'll be like minutes and seconds.
Okay.
There is one that's exactly bang on a minute, I think, to the minute.
Okay. And fine.
Although, does that include adverts?
It's whatever it said at the bottom of the actual episode on Spotify. I'm not going to get too technical. Believe me, it was a absolute ball ache to add up all those and divide it by and get the figure and make
Fair
sure
enough,
I'm right, because I know that you'd probably check it. Here's your final question then. In the Skyscrapers episode, you announced that you will be participating in the London Landmarks Skyscraper Challenge in September 2023. But what charity, and how can people sponsor you, Connor?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I do. I'm doing it for Tommy's charity, and they can sponsor me by going onto the website fatherandsundays.com and then go to our charity bit, and then you can find it on there. Connor's Skyscraper Challenge. Or you can actually go on to justgiving.com/Connor's Skyscraper Challenge.
It's
that
interesting. Yeah, that'd be a really good thing for people to do.
The easy place is go to our website.
When we were up in London last weekend, we decided to take the opportunity to walk over to have a look at where you will be doing your challenge. Wow.
Yes, so actually, a little bit of an update for you, Dad. They did a post of them practicing last weekend when we were there. They actually tried out the abseil.
Did they really?
Yeah, they did. They tried out the abseil.
Oh wow! It's a shame we weren't near there when they were doing it.
Yeah, I imagine they're probably doing it because London Landmarks were there that weekend anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't know whether they did it Saturday or Sunday. I imagine the Saturday probably.
Wow.
But yeah.
But all I can say is that I've gone and had a look, and
it's tall.
It's not only is it tall, but just the
building appears to be on stilts, doesn't it?
Yeah, just the whole area. And obviously there's another challenge going on similarly, but it's an abseil across, isn't it?
Zip line.
Zip line across.
Abseil between buildings.
You're abseiling, they're zip line. But the buildings around it are quite epic as well. And just the whole experience, the whole look of it, wow. We stood and looked directly up. And because a lot of those buildings around there are just glass buildings, windowed buildings. It was a beautiful day with blue skies, with wispy white clouds. It just looked amazing.
That was quite a good episode as well, actually, wasn't it?
Skyscrapers.
I thought so.
Yeah,
I quite enjoyed that one.
I quite like that one. And that is the end of my little quiz.
I wonder what was going on there.
No.
Wow, 100 episodes. Are you going to still do that? That's the end of my little quiz at the end of everything now? Or is that it for 100 episodes? Should we stop now? Should we just not do anymore?
No, because I've got a few planned.
Oh, yeah, we got a few planned. You know what? I know we normally just give a little sneak preview of what the next one is.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be worth just mentioning a couple in the future. I don't know about you. Should we just mention a couple that we got planned so far?
We can do. So I believe next week's podcast is all about dogs.
Yes.
He looks at Connor to confirm that he's not actually starting to work on something that he doesn't need to do
I'm pretty
yet.
sure it's dogs, but I'm just double checking.
Right. And then we have got coming up, I think in conjunction with two events that are coming up, I think perhaps there are ones in between.
Well, I'm going to say stuff just because I want to be careful that you don't mention the wrong one.
I'm not going to mention the wrong one.
Okay.
Right, so I am going to mention the fact that in England, in Great Britain, we have the King's coronation coming up.
Yeah, but that's not until episode 104.
Right. We've also got the Eurovision Song
That's
Contest
105.
being held in this country for Ukraine. And we're going to be doing a podcast on both of those things.
So something to bear in mind with those is we're
Right.
releasing them on the weekends of the Eurovision and coronation. So it might be a bit all over the place, and it's going to be very rushed.
But we want to reflect. We want to talk about it beforehand because there's obviously lots we can talk about. But we also want to react to what actually happens, and especially the Eurovision one could be quite a late night for us.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a late night because we're releasing it on the Sunday,
and we'll have to wait to find out who the winner is on the Saturday. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's going to be really late, isn't it?
Did you have any others that you were...
There's a secret one for episode 103. Not a secret because we don't want people to know about it, but there's one particular person we don't want to know about it.
Yeah.
And I know that's unfair on the rest of the world who wants to know what that is.
Can we mention any detail about what it's about?
Well, okay.
No.
We'll say this. It happens to fall on the same weekend as Sam, who we've had on the podcast, happens to fall on the same weekend as his stag do.
Wow.
So it's something vaguely related to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We won't say no more.
So that's the next 5 episodes, guys. So you got episode 101, 102, 103, 104,
You did
105.
miss one out there, but yes.
No. Oh, yes, 102 St. George's Day.
St. George's Day.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about that as well.
So you can see that because we've planned around a lot of big events like dogs. Because it's a big event for
big dogs. We couldn't do it when Crufts was on because we did something else, so we've decided to do it now. Now, we love dogs, and we wanted to do an episode dedicated to dogs and things dogs do.
Yep. And look, and then we've got loads more to plan.
We've also got some penciled in already that we want to do.
But they're not solid yet. But those 5 we just mentioned are solid.
They're already in the plan to do.
And if something goes wrong, then maybe one gets pushed out, but it shouldn't do. Because I've realised we've got a lot to do in a short space of time.
We certainly have.
But yeah, that's come. I mean, if you only stick around for the anniversary... No, not anniversaries. Flipping hell, Dad.
Hey, it was the anniversary.
If you only stick around for these kind of episodes, then we'll see you in another 50 episodes.
50 episodes,
yeah. Unless we don't do one for 150, do one for 200.
I don't know.
We'll see.
I think it's too early to say, really.
Well, yeah, after this, Dad, aren't we planning out the next 45 episodes?
No.
We could plan out the next 15.
We probably will.
Yeah.
But we're going to do as we have done before, and as we've said before, we'll do this as long as we're enjoying doing it. And at the moment we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you want to get in touch with us...
I think this might be the new longest episode, by the way.
Yeah. Are you just stalling so
no,
it is?
No, I'm not. I'm genuinely not.
So how do people get in touch with us, Connor?
Look, we've had loads of messages saying congratulations on 100 episodes. Yeah. But I can't read them to you because they're not there. Okay. But if you do want to let us know, that'd be nice. I did have someone say congratulations on 100 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, if you do want to contact us, you can do so on fatherandsundays.com/contact us, or just go to the contact page. Actually, I think it's just, I can't remember what the / is. Just go to fatherandsundays.com and then click on contact us.
Yeah.
Also go and do the charity stuff on there as well. But you can also email us at fatherandsundays. No, you can't. You can also email us at contact us at fatherandsundays.com.
No wonder we don't get any messages.
Yeah. Or you can also message us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Yep. Like, follow, share those as well.
We normally update them. Not always, but we normally do.
Yes. And we were meant to do a post today that I've just remembered.
I know we were. Anyway.
Let's do that after this.
Okay.
And also, all the episodes available on the website, but check them out on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, whatever your chosen podcast platform, we should be there. Okay. But thank you so much for listening to us for 100 episodes. Or if you've just turned up, welcome. But there's another 99 episodes for you to catch up on.
Yep. But just
otherwise
you might want to take
joke.
some of the recommendations that we've given, but just go and look at what you like and just see what you want to do.
That's only recommendations for the last 49. If you want more recommendations, check out number 50.
Yep.
It's got even more.
I think we did it then as well.
Yeah, and if you want to listen to really horrible audio, listen to the first 8 podcasts.
Yep. Worth out. Well, there's still some good content.
There is good content. You just have to put up with the noise.
Okay. Well, like he said, thank you very much. And I'm going to say